Good evening. Good evening. How y'all feeling? Welcome to the Couples Corner.
Hey, y'all.
We are Team Bevins. I'm Marcus, and this is my beautiful wife.
Shivery.
And tonight, we are excited to be in the Couples Corner with you guys. Of course, we're here to share in some dialogue with you all. And we want you all to be a part of the conversation. Make sure that you are sharing your comments, your questions. Of course, feel free to invite some people to the conversation. Let some people know that the Couples Corner is broadcasting live now. We are on YouTube as well as Facebook Live. So if you have not subscribed to our Team Bevins YouTube channel, make sure you do that just in case you aren't on Facebook Live and you want to be on YouTube at some point, and you'll be able to do that, and you'll get the notifications. Make sure you hit the bell so that you can get the notifications when we're on. All right. So we're going to pray, and then we're going to get started tonight, and we'll get this party started. Y'all ready? Let's pray. Father, we thank you for another time to share in the Couples Corner. We thank you for every couple, every family that's represented. We thank you, Lord, that you are giving us information that we need, things that we can use, tools that we can use so that we can be in a better position, so that we would be able to have success in our relationships. We thank you, Lord, that you are giving us nuggets and instruction, Lord, and pointing us in the right direction so that we can make the right decisions to have a healthy relationship, Lord. Help us, Lord, to never be bitter, oh God, with our mates, oh God, but that we would have a desire to be better, and that we would work on ourselves as well as our relationships so that they can be in the best possible shape that they can be in, Lord, and that you will be pleased with our relationships, and we will be an example to other people of what happiness and what a healthy relationship looks like. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
All right. So tonight we are sharing a little more. We're picking up where we left off last week. We're talking about love, of course. We're just days away from Valentine's Day. And so, we want everybody to be mindful of that and figure out what you're doing. You don't want to be around not knowing what you're doing. You ain't figured out what you're doing, because that ain't going to be a good look. So once you guys decide what you're doing and how you're going to make it work and how you're going to make it happen, then go for it. But tonight we're going to talk a little about love languages and what they look like. What some of them are. We're not going to touch all of them because there's a lot of information and a lot of components to them. So we'll deal with 2 or maybe 3 tonight and just share. So we want of course to hear from you guys and how your love languages function and how you work with them and all of that good stuff. So before we jump into the love languages, you'll talk a little bit about their Valentine's Day, what they doing, how they doing it, and if they're not doing it. I know you mentioned a little last week, people were supposed to be thinking about what they're doing for Valentine's Day. I know we talked some with what people were doing and some of the ideas that they had, some of the stuff that they was, doing. And some of y'all think some more during the course of this week and come up with some stuff, because people still looking for ideas. So if you guys, help somebody out that ain't got one yet.
Yeah, because they can't sit in a restaurant for an hour. So please type your ideas if you have them. We only got, 6 days?
Yeah.
So listen, you got to have this planned out.
Right.
Like by tomorrow, Wednesday at the latest, figure out what you're going to do. Take the ideas. Go back and look at last week's. There are a lot of good ideas on there. Some of them you may need more time than 6 days. But look on there, see what you can do, see what you can work out according to, what your mate or what your spouse likes. Please, if you have other ideas, type them in the chat, please. If you, anything that you have that can help another couple, what you might be doing, anything. So we can all, take part in this Valentine's Day, not together, of course, but so that we all can take part in Valentine's Day. If you don't have an idea, that's what we're here for. If you have other ideas, like if we get off of here and you think about ideas, go to the Couples Corner, group and put it in the group, what you're going to do, because a lot of couples still need stuff, guys. People are struggling right now, like, what are we going to do? And we have some ideas. So we decided to stay home to do a sip and paint, have a good dinner, and no children home alone. Yeah, that's good. That's good.
That's nice.
So if you don't know what to paint or how you're going to do that, maybe you can reach out to Capral, find out how she's doing that. I know there are a lot of people out here that do sipping paints. They probably will send it to you. I'm sure they've learned how to do this thing virtual or whatever. You go pick it up and just paint, right? I have a chef coming to the house because we didn't want to go out. Nice, okay?
Nice.
Like we said last week, I don't know what the chefs and their families do, but there are chefs out here that will come to you, and maybe, just maybe, you can still get one to come. Now listen, if you don't want to celebrate on Sunday, because Valentine's Day is Sunday, you can do Saturday, you can do Friday, okay? But you can do something, okay? And if you decide to do next Monday, then you're gonna need to talk about that. Because when things come after something, it's okay before, but make sure y'all talked about we're gonna do it, on Monday. So that's a good idea to have a chef. I know a lot of people are nervous, don't really want to go out. You also don't want to go out and be rushed to sit wherever you going for an hour in certain places. I know that's not everywhere, but certain places you only have an hour. So you can have a chef come to the house if you have the finances to do so. Because I know the chef wants to get paid.
Right.
Okay.
Now somebody commented on that painting. Because you said if you don't know, what to do.
Paint each other. Okay. I mean, listen. There are things that, you create some good fun in your house. Just make sure you put stuff down and all of that, because clean up later is not going to be, it's not, y'all be mad at each other.
Right, yeah. Sticky trying to walk around.
Good evening, Miss Wall. Amazon has pre-sketch paints that come with everything. Nice, right? And if you have Prime, do they come on Prime? If you have Prime, then you got time right now or later when we get off of here to go and figure out what you're going to do. What you're going to do for Valentine's Day, okay? Right. Because this is important. If you celebrate it, like I told y'all, some of y'all might not celebrate. You might be like, oh, we do this every, day. I think it's very important, though, to do something if your spouse wants to celebrate it, okay? Might not be your holiday. Last week we asked, was it men or women? Y'all said it was both.
Right.
Right? So if it's both, let's be fair in the fact that, let's see what we both want to do, maybe. Or, hey, women, you surprise him, But we running out of time. Okay? We got to get them moving. Okay, that's what I was trying to tell you last week. I use Amazon pre-paint kits with hubby and grandkids. It was fun. All right, y'all. See, nice. I'm telling y'all. Nice. Listen, we here to help each other. So I'm about to get me some paints. I didn't know Amazon had that stuff.
Right.
That's our favorite place. We can order something and get it here tomorrow morning. So that's another idea, y'all. Last week we had ideas. You can go back and look on the list. As we're talking tonight, keep going over your ideas. We're going to talk about love languages tonight. We're not going to talk about all of them, like Marcus said, but we are going to talk about some of them. Last week, we did talk about God's love, the unconditional love, the most important love that we could ever have. And how if we don't know God and we can't accept his love, we can't love each other. We can't love our spouse. And this week, we're just going to talk about love languages, some ways that you have decided make you feel appreciated, make you feel loved, make you feel like someone took the time out to understand you and, make your day great.
That's good. So one of the 5 love languages is words of affirmation, and how can we use them, as well as how are you at receiving them? Because the thing that I've learned about these love languages is that it's a two-way street. It's not just the fact that someone is offering them to you, but it also has to connect with the fact that you're accepting what they're giving you. Because if someone is giving you words of affirmation and you like, oh no, and you're like denying it, then you're taking the power of the affirmation away. You're taking the power of them, speaking that, because it goes two ways. It's them speaking that, to you as a reminder, or, them speaking it over you, as something for you to strive towards and to get to. But nonetheless, those words are important. And I think that sometimes we can lose sight of words of affirmation. That one may get the least amount of play out of all of the five, because somewhere along the lines we kind of lost the value of some of our words. So we may not necessarily think that it carries as much weight as giving a gift, or touch, or the others. But the words of affirmation are important because there are moments where we need to be reaffirmed. There are moments where we need to be reminded of who we are. There are moments where we need to be reminded of how much we're loved and what our mate thinks of us, or all of those things. Like, all of that comes into play. So we have to consider that, that we have all of that in motion and those things are going on. But it's important and it's valuable to us and for us that we would, recognize that we have the ability to speak words of affirmation. We have the ability. I don't think that we understand that we have the ability to change the course that our mate is going in by the words that we speak to them. We don't know how much fuel we'll add to their fire by the words that we speak. And so when we don't speak them, sometimes we actually allow our mate's fire to dwindle out, because it needed some oxygen. It needed some, some assistance to stay lit. And as a mate, we kind of failed in that area. I know I failed in that area a few times where, not shaking your head with a smile. I know I failed in that area a few times where I could have spoken words of affirmation and I didn't do it. Not like knowingly, but just out of probably just lack of considering how important those words could be, or taking for granted, oh, she already knows, well, I said that one time before, and so I don't need to keep repeating myself. But it depends on what the situation calls for, and that's what would really kind of, determine what the outcome would be based off of that situation. So with words of affirmation, you have to know that you have the ability to remind your mate. You have the ability to speak some things into existence. And you also have the ability to show love through your words of affirmation. So they are important.
So if you know what your love language is already, you can type it in the chat and type what your spouse's love language is. And if you do not know, then you need to find out, right? And I need y'all to find out quick, like tonight, because I want you to be able to put this into action this weekend, okay? Whatever that love language is. But when it comes to words of affirmation, so I'm just going to tell you all of them, although we're not going to talk about all of them. It's words of affirmation, physical touch, acts of service, quality time, and receiving gifts. Okay. And this is out of a book by Gary Chapman. And so I think that's his first name, right? Gary.
I think so.
So these things are what he finds that, everybody some kind of way thrives off of. What I find is, as I was looking at this, I thrive off all of them, right? I'm like, oh gosh, what is my primary? So that's what I want you to put in there. What is your primary? But when it comes to words of affirmation, it doesn't have to be this long paragraph, this long drawn out letter. It can just be, you look nice today. You smell good today. I like when you wear that cologne. I like when it does not have to be a paragraph, right? It's just, if that's somebody's love language, then when you give the one-liners or the fact that you notice what's going on will trigger them to be appreciated or feel okay, this is, but not, it has to be sincere, right? Sincerely done, not like you're searching, like, oh, you know,
Your
like
cuticles are nice.
Whatever it is. Like, so you just, it has to be genuine, sincere. And if that is your spouse's thing, then you need to do that whenever. Mm-hmm. Like anytime you can do it. You can say, oh, I just really appreciate that you made me dinner, or, oh, I just really, whatever it is, affirm them and your life will be better. Okay.
Yeah. And I think too that when you were saying about how it doesn't have to be a long dissertation, it doesn't have to be this whole big thing. Sometimes it's just a simple phrase. You got this. They could be doing something that they, may be a little nervous mm-hmm. about or unsure of or whatever. But just to know that, they have that support, even if you're not present, even mm-hmm. if you're not there in the physical, the fact that you're supporting them, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, that they know that they're not alone. They know that you're there. They know that you're with them. And that can go a long way. So those words really do matter when we use them. And we really can't afford to not use them. And sometimes, I know my wife and I, we had a conversation a long while back about appearance, right? We were talking about appearance from like dress and, hair, makeup, all of those kinds of little things. And the reason that I was failing in words of affirmation was because I was, there was a standard, and the standard was consistently being met. And so because the standard was consistently being met, there was no addressing the fact that it's consistently being met. There was only the flip side if it wasn't being met. So it's kind of like if you always keep the car clean mm-hmm. and nobody says anything about the car getting clean, but the one day the car is dirty, then you acknowledge mm-hmm. the fact that the car is dirty. You think, at least I speak for me, you would think that addressing the fact that the car is dirty when it's regularly clean is pointing out that the consistency has been broken. Mm-hmm. But that's how you're looking at it. On the flip side, the other person could be looking at it like you never acknowledged the fact that it was consistently clean for mm-hmm. 38 weeks. And then this one day that it's dirty, now you're making an issue of the dirt that's present, but you had nothing to say when it was fine. And sometimes in that mentality is that was what the expectation was. That's what the level of acceptance was. And as long as that was being met, there was nothing to discuss. But if it fell below that, then, you address mm-hmm. it, or it would have to supersede it by great measures for you to address that side of it. And so that's not fair. So.
Wait a minute. I missed a comment. My gifts have already arrived. That's what I'm talking about. Like early. I'm like me. Okay. Yeah, that's true. Like you're just so used to something just being that way that you don't mention it, even if you like it or something mm-hmm. like that. And that could be problematic sometimes if that's their right. love language. Mm-hmm. So the next love language we're going to go to will be receiving gifts. Okay. Now, this does not have to be all materialistic. We talked about this last week too, kind of about, designer pocketbooks, for instance, mm-hmm. for women. But if that's your spouse's thing, that's not my thing. Designer pocketbooks, like I told y'all last week, because I'm thinking, what could we use this money for? But, or I could have got like 3 of these if you would have just got this kind or whatever. So not to say you never want it, never going to get it. It's just, it might not be your thing. So receiving gifts, maybe some of y'all thing, but it may not always be the big extravagant, I'm going to purchase you a car. I'm going to, buy you a house. I'm going to, give you a whole new wardrobe. It may be the thoughtful gifts, the thing you took some time in, the thing that you really listened and studied your mate with. You have to study. When it comes to gifts, you have to study. I can go buy any of y'all gifts. Mm-hmm. You will probably like it. But did I study you to really know like what you will really appreciate and what you really need?
Yeah.
Or want, or would really like. So that's one part that Marcus talked about last week. Like, we're always learning each other. We should always be studying our mate, because we have to make sure that we're, on our A game. Right. You don't want to be on your D game. Like, be on your A game, right? Not your Z game. So you want to be at the top of the alphabet. Exactly. So you just got to take some time and think about it. And believe me, if this is your spouse's love language, y'all know it's tired. Y'all know I'm tired, right? Patience, all that. So if this is your spouse's love language, they will know if you spend some time thinking about the gift, or you just ran out and was like, okay, I'm gonna get this. She gonna like it. He gonna like it. Whatever. Or if you spend some time to really say, this gift is, put together. I went to a wedding one time, and let me tell you, none of us will ever forget this. Okay? She had gifts, every gift that he gave her at the wedding, he had something behind it, something to say. This watch is for hoping time will never end, whatever it was, right. But it was well thought out. Like, we all were like, wow, I mean, you really took some time doing this. And so, and that's something that I'm sure she'll never forget, and not just, oh, I got you this, or, oh, I got you that. But the meaning behind it, the time you put into getting it, and it does not have to be the most expensive thing in the world.
Right. Sometimes it really is the thought that counts.
My wife and I had to realize that that your language can actually change. As you and your marriage grow and evolve, what you need from your mate also evolves. That's why checking in is so important. And I totally agree with that, because, if you've been married over 10 years ago, what you wanted or what made you appreciate it is not going to make you feel the same 10 years later.
Right.
10 years ago, how you communicated, you prayerfully don't communicate that way now in your relationship. So I totally agree with that. You have to always be checking in to see, like, you still like that. There may be some of you who back in the day was like, yeah, get me a bag, get me an outfit, I'm good. Now you like, no. Pay all my bills. Pay all the bills in the house. Let us live good. Let us be good for a month, and we're good. And listen, don't let anybody, I'm going to tell you something. One time, Marcus and I, it was for our anniversary. We had cold reds, and some of y'all might have heard this story before. We had cold reds, and we had pizza, right? So, and that was our anniversary.
Cold Red Mountain
Dew. And pizza. And that was our anniversary night, dinner. We talked with each other. We had a good time.
We were dressed
up. And people want to say, like, what? That's all you had? Listen, don't let anybody, if it makes y'all happy, don't let anyone, okay, rain on your parade. Don't let anyone tell you, oh, I wish, oh, please, he'll never, because you don't know. You don't know what state we was in. You don't know what was going on. You just be glad we could purchase that pizza, okay?
Right.
It would be nothing. We'd be eating our oodles and noodles, right? So it was a great time, and we did not have to go out. And, I remember another time we were going to go out, spend all this money and do, go on a trip or whatever. And we wound up staying home. Nobody knew, but we wound up staying home and just being in our home. And that was great because, we just realized, like, we don't have to spend all this money that we really didn't have at that time to celebrate. Yes, we're going to celebrate, but we can stay home, do a couple things, and be in our house and celebrate. Don't chase the Joneses, y'all. Don't look at the social media. Don't let people make you think I got to do this, or I can't post this or I can't take pictures here. You can do whatever you want to do. Okay? Because it's what makes you all happy.
Right.
And and the best thing you can do is be honest with yourself. You and your spouse can be honest with each other and say, this is where we are. Financially, this is where we are. Everybody may not be able to get a chef, but if one of y'all know how to cook, you can cook it at a time. Y'all can put it on the table. Listen, make the best out of it. Go get some decorations from the Dollar Tree. And, because sometimes the people, the Joneses, we think they be paying a lot of money for their stuff. They don't.
Right.
They go to Dollar Tree, Walmart, Family Dollar, all those places just like all of us did.
Exactly.
So just make the best out of it. Don't let your wife make you feel like you got to do what her friend, husband doing or boyfriend doing. Like, that's not your relationship. Okay. Yes, we are here trying to give you things to do, options to do, but we're not saying, do what Team Bevins did. We're not saying be like, well, that's what we doing. We're gonna get a pizza, we're gonna sit down and talk, we're gonna enjoy each other. Then you be calling us next week like, listen, I don't know what happened. Can y'all talk to us? Y'all come over here.
Right. Where did you get your pizza from?
Because our pizza, so.
But one of the things that showed me, and it wasn't at that time, but later when I look back at that moment, what it showed me where our value was in our relationship, that it wasn't in things. It wasn't in the best gift that you can buy me or the best restaurant that you could take me to, but it was in each other. It was in the fact that we were able to be together. That was what was most important. And so you have to find out what's important to you guys at this particular stage of your relationship, because like we discussed earlier, things change.
Yeah.
You might be at a certain stage in your relationship where words of affirmation are more important than receiving gifts. You might be at a stage where physical touch is more important than, receiving gifts. But so you have to know where you are as a couple. You have to know where you are as a unit. And sometimes when you remove some of the superficial things, you find out what's real. And so to be able to have an anniversary, it wasn't like just a date. It was an anniversary.
Yeah,
it wasn't that we didn't have anything to celebrate for. We were actually celebrating, and that was a celebration because at that time we really were into pizza, and at that time we really were into Code Red, and just having the opportunity to have those two things that we loved with the person that we loved, and at that time we didn't have any of our kids with us. That was a party all by itself. So we didn't need a ton of other things, for it to be something that was special, but that's where we were, and we understood that. So it wasn't a letdown. It wasn't a disappointment. It wasn't any of those things, but it was actually an opportunity for us to relax, an opportunity for us to, kind of get away. And it was more of a staycation than it was a vacation because we didn't go anywhere and we didn't have to. And we had just as much fun as when we've gone out of the country or the other states and traveled and done all of that. So it's not about the gift. It's about, especially when we're talking about things like Valentine's Day or anniversaries, birthdays, it's not about the gift. It's really about the gift giver. It's really about who the gift is for. It's really about the occasion. So when we remember those things, then we kind of position ourselves a little better to, recognize that where we are and where we want to be, we actually are making achievement. We actually have something to celebrate on. And those are the moments that make memories. Because if you think about it, how many moments did you not remember? And you spent tons of money. How many moments did you not remember because that moment didn't make it to the memory category? So you got to find out what's important and what's valuable to you and to y'all at that particular time so that you can make sure that you guys are winning.
And listen, if you don't know what to get for Valentine's Day, if you're celebrating Valentine's Day, just ask. Right.
It's really not,
Just ask, because you're going to just go out here and stress yourself out and get something and they like, what? I don't want that. Right. Or I already got two of these. Like, just ask me. Because if you're not in tune like that, and I'm not going to be, I can't be foolish to think that everybody's in tune with each other like that. It takes some good being together to really know, or to really pick up on things. Sometimes we pick up on so much from our careers or what the kids are doing and all of that we don't pick up on what our spouse really needs. So if you just ask, or if you was thinking something and then something else, some of y'all real slick. Y'all know how to ask without asking. And sometimes I can do that, but sometimes I'm just like, what? What do you need? What do you want? Right? Because I need to know, because I never want to spend my money on something that you're like, man, we could have just waited. Like, I didn't need this. Mm-hmm. So, just make sure that you ask. Yes, asking is the key when you can't think of something. Right.
Definitely. If
you can't think of it, if you don't know, it's no need to make it up. Right. And make up something wrong or go the wrong way or wind up buying something that you really like. We talked about that last week. Gifts that really are for you. Right. And the spouse is like, what? I don't want to do that. I like doing that, but I don't want that as a gift. Right. So you have to really think about or ask them, like, what is it? I just want to know what you want. And you can go ahead of time. Like, okay, sometimes we have a lot of holidays falling together. So you can go and just be like, okay, Valentine's is coming, but what you want for your birthday after that? Like, so you can work up to it. And they might even forget, they may forget they said that, but they want it. Right. So you can work up to it. So you don't have to be always at the last minute saying, okay, I'm going to get, this, or okay, I'm going to just go ahead and grab this and one of these and all of that. It was another comment that said, dollar store decorations.
Yeah, awesome.
Listen, they are, right? If you know how to make it look like something, amazing. Some people tell me stuff, I'm like, you did not get that from, did you? I'm like, you painted it and did what? Like, yeah. So some people are very creative and they don't spend a lot of money in doing it because they know their level. They know what lane they're in. Mm-hmm. And that's all I'm saying when it comes to these, love languages or how you love each other or how you want to be loved. Just know your lane. Know what your spouse's lane. Never look to the left or to the right at another couple and be like, oh, we're going to do that, because number one, you don't know what they did to get it. We talked about, that hashtag goals before. Right. Goals, when you put that on the couples and all that, you don't know the things they went through to get where they are. And I understand you have a couple you will look up to, and you may have a few couples you will look up to, but everything they experience, you do not want to experience, Yep. And because they wear some, because he wear a Gucci belt, I don't know, what do you wear, a belt, I don't know, and she wears some red bottoms, does not mean that they're goals.
Yep.
Okay.
Or that they're happy.
But, that's fine if you like, okay, yeah, one day I want to be able to just buy blah, blah. Yeah, but we got to stop this want to become another couple. So, this is your time. We are always sparking conversation. If you have questions, if you have some more ideas, please put them up there. If you have other ideas for Valentine's Day, or if you just have ideas, period, put them up, put them in the chat. We'll talk about it. If you have comments or questions, please chat with us, talk to us. We will answer your questions if we have the answer. And if we don't, we will direct you to somebody who does. Right. So, but make sure that, we got one more. Mm-hmm. Okay. We're going to talk about physical touch. Okay. Whose is this? We're going to talk about physical touch. Now everybody want to put in their chat like, that's me. That's me. That's me. Touch me. Touch me. And be like, that's all you need for Valentine's Day. All right. Get you some physical touch.
So now I do want to present that. So I saw a post that somebody posted. They said, ladies, let me tell y'all now, Valentine's Day is coming up. And don't think that, he about to go out here and buy you all this stuff and take you to all these fancy places, and you're going to give him the same 2 positions that you've been giving him all year long. And I just thought that was hilarious because in many cases, some people do think that their sex is a gift.
They could have.
And so, Valentine's Day coming up.
Be lucky.
And it's usually, and let's be honest, it's usually the woman who feel that way. She like, Valentine's Day, yeah, I'm just giving some. He's like, not the same something you gave me on the 13th, and then I can get on the 15th. You gonna try to give it to me on the 14th like it's a gift. Ain't no gift. You re-gifted at this point.
I can't do this.
So y'all don't be around here thinking you go give up some January booty for Valentine's Day. You give up some January booty for Valentine's
physical
Day.
touch is not always mean sexual touch, okay? Y'all know we still praying and taking meds and all of that. We're trying to get that medication level right, but some kind of way. So
I ain't no quitter.
Physical touch is not always sexual. You know, physical touch is holding hands, kissing. He knows this. He knows this. He's just letting y'all know the other stuff too. Holding hands, kissing, you know, hugging, you know, walking hand in hand when you're out. Some people like when you have public affection, you know, public physical touch, or some people just want to be touched. You know what I'm saying? Like, you work, they work, y'all deal with the kids, you know, when it's y'all time, they want you to touch them, not just sit down and talk to them or whatever. And physical touch a lot of times may lead to sexual, you know, but like, you know, if I want to be cuddled, then if cuddling is your love language, cuddling might not also mean that sex is their love language, right? Right. Sounds crazy to say though, right? But if you you just want to cuddle, or you just want to hold hands, or you just want to in the car. I know sometimes we're in the car, Marcus will grab my hand, and you know, y'all know I always give him a hard time. So sometimes I just be like, here we go. But because it's gonna be awkward for me or awkward for him and whatever. But it's actually nice, you know? It's actually nice. So whatever your spouse likes, whatever kind of touch or however they want you to provide physical contact with them, it's up to you to study or to know that, or to ask. You know, like when I rub your back, you know, is that good for you? Like, or just that get on your nerves? Does it feel like ants going up and down your back? Or, you know, or do you like ants. It? Or what is it? Because you want to make sure you're doing what they like, what feels nice, not just what you feel like doing. Right. You know, or I would like this. I would like to be cuddled. Marcus might be like, I don't need to be. I'm not a baby. Like, I don't need you to cuddle me. You know, and y'all, sometimes our spouses say this stuff, like, what inside though, because they really don't want to hurt your feelings,
so they saying it in
their mind.
So
I'm just saying some things that's very funny, but very, you know, reality. You know, you might have got a gift. Now, some of y'all are some great gift givers, I'm sure, but there are some people that just like, yo, he bought me this again. Like, what? I don't want that. But in some kind of way, you have to figure out how to communicate really what you need, or really what you want, or, you know, what you would like, instead of, so that the person doesn't continue to do it. Because if they think it's right, they will continue to do it. So if he thinks rubbing his back, if I think rubbing his back is right, I'm going to continue to rub his back. And then he's going to be like, oh God, every day we watching TV, it feel like ants up and down my back. Right? So if he doesn't find a way to be like, oh no, why don't you just rub my knee, or let me hold your hand, or, you know, sometimes that get a little right. Whatever it is, you have to find a way. Y'all know we make a lot of jokes because that's just what we do. But you have to find a way to communicate it. You know, when I met Marcus, he was like, listen. Basically, he just said this. Listen, do not.
I don't even know what you're about to say, but I'm laughing.
Do not give me a whole bunch of ties that got crosses on them, Jesus on them, all this. Y'all, we love the Lord. Y'all know Team Bevins loves the Lord with everything in us. But that don't mean his style wasn't a tie that say Jesus, 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 Jesus all down it. Like, that wasn't his style. Right. So when people would do that, even like family members or something like that, I'm confused. I'm like, that's not even his style. He got crosses, he got necklaces and stuff, but that's not his style. Right, but you know, and now we wear shirts and all of that. But so he's just basically cut that off for me. Because if I thought that I was about to buy him, you know, those shirts, or those ties or whatever, I don't want them. And I can't tell y'all that I wouldn't have I don't think it was about the words, but something, you know, a symbol or something. I can't tell you that. But he would have never wore it. And he would just blame it on all the ties that he has, so many of them, that if somebody needs some, y'all can have them. Like, so many ties that he has that he would have just blamed it on that and probably said, oh, I forgot. Oh, you brought me that. I forgot. Like, when he really did not want it. So he was just flat out honest with me. But you have to find a way. If you're not good at doing that, or you don't want to hurt your spouse's feelings, you have to find a way to communicate or get out of that cycle of what you've been doing that doesn't please you. And we're giving you an out right now. Tonight, tomorrow, the next day, you can talk about what's your love language. Hey, my love language is really this. Hey, I'm really, realizing that I've evolved and now this is my love language. I would like this. I would like to see more of this or feel more like this. So this is a way to spark up the conversation to change things. You don't always have to do it when it's happening. You can do it on the off season, on the off weeks, so that when you get to the season, you're doing good. To my engaged couples, you too, okay, will have to learn what the person that you're planning on marrying enjoys, okay? Because it's going to be an important part of your relationship. If they want compliments and you're not complimenting them, it's not going to go too well. I told y'all, I do is not magical. So you can go down that aisle, you're going to say I do, and they still going to want those compliments.
Right.
Okay? They're still going to want to be affirmed. They're still going to want those words of affirmation. So learn now. And if it's something you're struggling with, figure out how to get it done. Or, that maybe I'm not the one because I can't do it. No, I'm joking. But figure out how to get it done because that is the way they want to be loved. Now, of course, nobody set this in stone. He wrote this book. I kind of agree with, the categories that he said, but there could be another way that you want to be loved, or you want love shown to you. And so if there is another way, you need to take time and communicate that.
Right.
Okay. Communicate so that you are able to feel what you feel like you give out. Because what you like, your spouse doesn't always like. Now, that's great if y'all like the same exact thing and are the same exact way. But a lot of us, we are loved differently. We have a different love language. You may have, your primary is maybe different. I mean, your other secondaries may be some of the same, but your primary may be different. And if it's different, you either have to teach them if they're not, just learning like that, and the other person has to learn. You have to be willing to learn. Okay.
Right. No, I'm saying right. So what you were saying, I do. This is kind of slightly related, but hopefully y'all be honest if it applies. But have any of y'all had silent tantrums like you was a toddler? Because your mate wanted to do something or wanted you to go somewhere or something like that, and you really didn't want to do it, and so you really had like a 1-year-old, 2-year-old toddler fit in your mind silently, like in your mind you kicking and swinging your arms like you 18 months, and you just like, nobody want to do this, I want to go all the time and all that, but you smiling in real life while all that's going on. And then y'all ever did that? You say yeah? Yeah, I've done it as well. With a nice smile on my face.
I have, because but you gotta find a way to communicate that, because you can't do that every week. Because soon it's gonna come out your mouth like, I really just don't want to do this.
Yeah, that's
like I don't want to do this. Stop asking me. Y'all, I'm telling y'all, like, it's just bad, because everybody needs to be happy, and you can compromise. Yes, the relationship is about compromise. Right. Okay, I do agree that you should compromise, but I don't think you should live somewhere where it's just torture. It's like, I don't even want to hang around your friends because I don't like your friends. Like, I don't really care for your friends. Right. So whenever y'all hanging, let me know. I'm gonna do something else, or So once a year you can handle it, but you can't handle it every month. So you have to be honest with yourself, with your spouse. Whatever your love language is, they have like a little quiz if you go on there, or if you have the book, they have a quiz. I had my book. I don't know what I did with it. We took the quiz before, and at the marriage conference, and people were surprised, like, oh wait, I'm this, or oh wait, I'm that, So take the quiz. That's something fun you can do. Y'all just enjoy this thing called marriage, okay? Yeah. It's worth it. It can work. It will work. I declare that everybody that's listening to us, that your marriage, your relationship will survive, okay? Right. You put the work in, it will survive. You trust God. You keep God in the center. It will survive. Will there be bad days? Yes, there will be. Mm-hmm. Yes, there will be. I mean, listen, people want to tell you, oh, we've been married. We don't have, okay. Right. But life, chance, all this stuff happens to all of us. Okay. So yes, there will be times that you're like, how are we going to get through this? But you're going to get through it. Do not quit. Do not give up on each other. If this weekend for some reason turns out bad, I'm going to ask you to extend, right? Just to extend a little forgiveness, a little mercy to your spouse, and see if we can get this right the next time. Okay. I want to ask you to do that. I want to ask you not to quit because you didn't get what you thought you were supposed to get, for Valentine's Day. Okay. Because everybody has to learn, and you will. I believe it will work out. A lot of us are able to do some great things. That's why we're giving all these great ideas. Please, y'all, please, as we said before, please go to Couples Corner group and put your ideas in there. Read, what other people say, if there are other ideas in there, because people need it. People are tired of doing the same thing. Right. It's the pandemic, and we need creative ideas. So y'all have given some great ideas. You got something to say? Okay. I really appreciate y'all. I appreciate your comments, because a lot of times it helps us too, because you can get stuck and doing the same, like, oh, we can do this every day. Like I told y'all, me and Marcus have to figure out that every day we do not have to eat. Right. Like, we don't have to eat every day. We don't need to eat it every day. Okay. I know somebody was thinking it. I ain't playing with y'all. But we don't need to eat it every day. We don't have to. We have to figure out some other creative things to do. And for us, we date every week. So we really need your ideas. Like, we need them far past Valentine's Day. Right. Okay. So, and a lot of times you want to do things that aren't going to cost you a lot of money. Some people, I understand, have been laid off, getting unemployment, whatever it is. But I still want you to be able to celebrate, and that it not be like, oh man, we ain't doing nothing. We can't do nothing. Or, I didn't get a stimulus check. We can't do nothing. So what? You need to figure out how you can do something. You need to figure out how you can celebrate each other, no matter what holiday or day it is. Okay. Yep. I just want to say that my prayer is that you enjoy this weekend to come. Okay. That you enjoy each other, that you take some time to sit down and just communicate with each other. Out of all the things you may do, all the gifts you may get, you just sit down and you communicate with each other. You love on one another, that you turn your phones off or down or on vibrate, or get off of social media. Take social media off of your phone for, a day or something, or some hours, just to enjoy each other. I'm not saying don't post, because if y'all celebrate early, post, because then I might can change up. So go ahead and post it, because I was looking on there like, oh, they went where? Where's that? We going there. So, I might not always post that we going, but some of them things I done seen y'all do, we doing. Like, if y'all think we not going to paint, oh, yes, we are. It might not be this weekend, but we going to paint. So, post your stuff, and I don't care what it is. If that's how you celebrate it, be proud of it. Okay. But don't let don't let social media take your time away from your spouse. Don't let looking at other things take time away from the time you should be enjoying each other. And don't let this weekend be the only time you're enjoying each other. Exactly. Because of course we talk about Valentine's Day and we hype it up, because that's the hype right now. But we always want you to be in this mode, right? Where you can enjoy each other, where you can take a weekend day to be with your spouse and enjoy each other. Sometimes Marcus and I, You know, and y'all may want to do this. We get in the car, we decide where we're going, and we just drive. So if we're saying, all right, where we going to go today? And we say we're going to Westminster. So we just drive and we just go to Westminster with no destination, and just whatever we see, we explore it. You know, and that's like a whole date for us.
Mm-hmm.
And we come home, you know, we don't stay long because neither one of us want to be but you know that if you after a while you're like, oh, they got this over there, oh, they got that, oh, even though it's still we got to wear a mask in places, at least you can go, or you can drive and know, oh, this is over here, we're gonna come visit this later or whatever. But we take a drive and it's just so refreshing. Mm-hmm. So, and you can answer your phone or not while you're driving. You driving, put the little thing on to say, I'm driving, we'll call you back and you just be driving for hours. So you get back to them. Y'all, everybody's emergency does not have to be your emergency this weekend.
Very true.
Okay? You have to set some boundaries. You have to. Because if you don't set boundaries, then there will be problems inside. And you don't want problems inside. Okay?
Right.
So you need to set boundaries. You need to set boundaries with your job. You need to set boundaries with, you know, your children. You need to set boundaries. And y'all might think, oh, my children. Yes, your children, because they have to value that you have time with each other. Mm-hmm. They have to be able to understand that.
Right.
Okay. So I want y'all to enjoy yourselves. Have a good time. Please go to the Couples Corner if you group if you're not already in there, and like on Facebook and like it. Go to our YouTube page. On YouTube. Yo, I'm so tired. Like, I could go on with them corny jokes for the rest of the night. Y'all be like, shit, ready, get off of here. So go to our YouTube page, you know, and subscribe, please. And
Team Bevins.
It's Team Bevins. And subscribe, like, and share, as my daughter would say. And make sure, subscribe is hitting the bell, right?
No, subscribe is subscribing to your page.
Right.
Clicking the bell is getting the notifications that every time you come on,
that they'll be able to see it. Right. Okay. So y'all heard them. So do that. If you have things that you want us to talk about, we're going to talk about the rest of the love languages next week. But we also want to talk about what you did, how it turned out for you. Okay. All right. Because I want to know how it turned out. And we, you know, if there are things that you want to share that you don't want to share here, please feel free to DM us. If you have our numbers, you can always text us. You can inbox us, whatever, like your topics you want to talk about, or if there's something you want to talk about. People do it all the time. They text me stuff anonymously, so for me to talk about on here. We just act like it's us, you know. So we don't care. So just if you have any of that, we don't mind talking about it. If you have topics that you want us to talk about, please send them. If you're not, and we will pray about them and we will talk about them. But please, if you are not on our email list, inbox us your email.
Right.
We do not send emails every day or every other day, but we will send. There are sometimes we don't post on here or things we might not talk about on here that we will send in the email. Okay. So we really want to do something virtual, right? Really soon. So, you know, it's good that we'll have your email address, please, so that we can communicate with you about that. Okay. So y'all, it's the love month. Take care of yourself. It's heart health month. Okay. Watch what you're eating. Exercise a little bit. Okay. I said a little bit. 3 times a week. Give it your all. 30 minutes. Give it your all. 3 times a week. Drink some water. Watch your life change. Okay. And take your medicine if you got it. Wash your hands. Wear your mask. And stay physically distant from the people that you do not live with in your own home. And now I will turn it over to you.
Nice.
Because I'm sleepy and I can say 50 more things.
But yeah, as you mentioned, you know, we just want everybody to make sure that they enjoy themselves and to make sure that, you know, you're building your relationship and you're doing the things that makes your relationship grow and successful. Don't allow, you know, this weekend to discourage you. Don't allow your financial condition to dictate how great your Valentine's Day is. You know, you do what works for you. You do what works for you guys as a couple. you know, and if this is not your holiday, your celebration choice, then that's fine too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it is what it is. And as a couple, you guys figure out and you decide what you're doing and what you're not doing. But communicate, you know, that's all. And allow it to be healthy dialogue where you guys will be able to, you know, just enjoy each other, because ultimately that's what it's really about. And, you know, we thank you guys for tuning in. I do want to say this for those of you who may not be aware. On Wednesday, I have a new single that's going to be coming out. It's a song, The Love of a Father. It's about fatherhood. And that's something that's kind of near and dear to me. And I think it's something that doesn't get enough airplay, and it doesn't, you know, it's not something that's talked about much. And whenever it is talked about, it's usually talked about in a negative light, about what, you know, fathers aren't doing and how they're not present and how they aren't there. But this is the flip side of that. This is the understanding of the role of a father. This is the love of a father, and how we love and handle our children differently than our wives do or their mothers do, because we operate from different places. So that's going to be available everywhere digital music is sold. And so you guys can, you know, can check that out. And, you know, it'll be W. Marcus Bevins when you search in any music platforms. But definitely check it out. You know, you can purchase it, you can download it, whatever form of digital music you use. But I want it to be something that you listen to. I want you specifically to listen to it, but I want you to listen to it. I want you to allow your children to listen to it, because they'll have their own, you know, it'll be a conversation that they can have. It's something that they will have some input on. And definitely, if you are a father, I want you to listen to it, because I want you to understand how valuable your role is and how important what you say, what you do is to your children. So it's something that we are definitely, you know, excited about. And so be on the lookout for it, and hopefully you guys will support it. And we will see you guys next time in the Couples Corner. We appreciate you all tuning in, and we'll see you next time. Y'all be blessed.